today's edition of the News in Brief, brought to you by
Graphic Communication is giving you the opportunity to have news not only in hard copy but also in a digital form. Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
In the headlines, NDC Flagbearer asks President Akufo-Addo to withdraw Agyapa deal completely. The minority in Parliament insists defects in the Agyapa deal cannot be corrected by Parliament. And the Electoral Commission says it will transmit the 2020 election results manually. Now the news in brief. The flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has called on President Akufo-Addo to order the complete withdrawal of the Agyapa royalties deal and dismiss the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. According to the former president, the report by the special prosecutor does not augur well for the Finance Minister, and it dents the reputation of Nana Addo's government if he fails to relieve Ken Ofori-Atta of his job.
Speaking in a radio interview on Accra-based Star FM on Tuesday, November 3, John Mahama said the report by Mr. Amidu is not surprising since the issues raised were well known. Mr. Amidu's report on corruption risk assessment of the deal argued, among others, that consultations over the agreement were not comprehensive and innovative enough.
The main consensus was that the value of those royalties the value had been undervalued, let me put it that way, because they had valued it at 1-point-something billion, but experts who looked at it said it should have been worth more, like 3 billion. And so what would have happened is an IPO would have taken place. People who have gone and bought the shares for cheap and then seen an appreciation in their shares almost immediately once it begins to market, because then the true value would have been realized. And if the true value is double, then it means that they could see a 100% appreciation in whatever shares they have. So there's been a saving to the state. I think it should be withdrawn completely.
In a related development, the minority in Parliament on Tuesday, November 3, said Parliament cannot correct any defect of the Agyapa minerals royalties deal in any possible way. The minority's claim is in reaction to a directive by President Akufo-Addo to the Finance Minister to take the deal back to Parliament for it to go through the approval process all again.
We feel strongly vindicated. The truth must always stand with the political minority at all times. And Ghanaians will now understand why momentarily I lost my cool and temperament for an important national matter of this character and nature. You find a minister of state trivialize it with Papano at that time, not concerned about the weight and magnitude of this particular transaction. You want to take gold revenue for the next 10, 15 years. What does that mean to the state? What does it mean to chiefs and people who earn a portion of the Mineral Development Fund? Government ministers were joking and reduced that transaction to a triple.
Meanwhile, the majority leader, Osei Chairman Samboso, has disagreed with the minority and said their position is preposterous.
The thing is, you can't just conjecture from the top of your head. I mean, sometimes these things are very preposterous. Somebody says somewhere as making a definitive pronouncement. You ask him, have you seen it? He hasn't seen it. So what's the sense in critiquing when we say we haven't seen it? Even me, I can tell you that I haven't seen the referral and the content. So how does somebody sitting somewhere who hasn't seen it, condemn Parliament for lack of diligence? It is a minority says that this is a vindication of their position. What's the vindication of their position? I heard Hussein Inusa. The main crux of Harun's intervention was that they didn't have time, that they were giving only 4 hours. Which he knows between him and his God was a palpable untruth.
In our final story for today, the Electoral Commission says it will revert to the manual process of transmitting results from all the coalition centers to the national headquarters during the upcoming December polls. In recent elections, both the electronic system and manual system were used.
According to a deputy chair at the commission in charge of corporate services, Dr. Eric Bosman Asari, the manual system was a standard one with no problem. He indicated that the EC would make sure all those in charge of the various polling stations will discharge their duties professionally.
Thank you for watching. That's all we have for today. For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic GH. I am Juliet Echatafo.